It's Friday at 5:30 p.m. You're exhausted after another brutal week. The last thing you want to do is cook, so you order delivery, $45 with tip. You get home, crack open a drink, and collapse on the couch. I earned this, you tell yourself. But what if I told you that pizza didn't cost $45? What if the real math shows you're not making $30 an hour? You're making closer to $4. I'm going to show you the accounting fraud you're committing against yourself every time you look at a salary offer. And once you see these numbers, you'll never look at money the same way again. Here's the fundamental scam. We measure our worth by annual salary. Make $65,000? That's about $31 an hour. Sounds decent, right? But in business, looking at revenue without expenses is how companies go bankrupt. If a bakery sells $1 million of bread but spends $1.1 million on flour and rent, that bakery is worthless. Yet when it comes to our own labor, we only look at revenue, the salary. We completely ignore the cost of goods sold. And the good being sold is you. Let's audit a typical worker. We'll call him James. James makes $31 an hour or $65,000 a year. But before that money touches his account, taxes take their cut. Federal, state, FICA. Suddenly that $31 drops to about $24. Now subtract the work-related costs. Commute costs, gas, car maintenance, insurance. $4,000 a year just to get to the place where he makes money. Appearance costs, business clothes, dry cleaning. He can't show up in pajamas. Convenience tax. Lunch out twice a week because there's no time to meal prep. The $5 coffee to survive the 2 p.m. meeting. The dog walker because he's not home. These costs wouldn't exist without the job. Decompression spending. This is the darkest category. The Friday bar tab. The impulsive vacation. The therapy bills. The money we spend to numb the pain the job inflicts. Add it all up, and James isn't taking home $65,000. His real net income is closer to $35,000. But we're only halfway through because wage equals money divided by time. And just like we overestimate the money, we drastically underestimate the time. HR says James works 40 hours a week. That's a lie. He wakes up at 6:30 to shower, shave, get dressed. 30 minutes of unpaid labor for his employer. 30-minute commute each way. Unpaid labor. An hour lunch where he can't go home, can't nap, can't see his kids. He's held captive by the office. 30 minutes after work decompressing, checking emails, venting about his boss. This is all shadow work. Time that belongs to the job, but the job doesn't pay for. Add the grooming, commuting, and decompressing. And James isn't working 40 hours a week. He's dedicating 55 to 60 hours to his employment. So here's the real calculation. Take that whittled down net income of $35,000 and divide it by the true hours, nearly 3,000 hours a year. That $31 an hour evaporates. James is making $11 an hour, maybe $8. In high stress, high cost of living situations, he's making less than the teenager flipping burgers down the street because the teenager walks to work, wears a uniform, and leaves the stress at the fry station. You've been tricked into a high-churn, low-margin business model where you're the product and you're selling yourself at a loss. Now, I know this sounds depressing, but we're not doing this math to make you miserable. We're doing it to make you efficient. Once you know your real hourly wage, your entire view changes. Say your real wage is $10 an hour. You see shoes for $100. That's not $100. That's 10 hours of your life. 10 hours of traffic, passive-aggressive emails, missing your family. Are those shoes worth 10 hours of suffering? Suddenly, the answer is almost always no. This also exposes the trap of promotions. You get a $10,000 raise, but now you work late every night, order takeout constantly, need nicer suits, and your stress skyrockets. Your real hourly wage might actually go down after a promotion. You're processing more money, but keeping less of it and giving up more life to get it. So what's the solution? Ruthlessly optimize your real hourly wage. Make this your new success metric, not income, but efficiency. Negotiate working from home twice a week. You just gave yourself a massive raise without the company paying a dime more. Start meal prepping. Move closer to work. Stop caring what coworkers think of your clothes. Every dollar of work expense you cut is a dollar of pure freedom. Here's what I want you to do. This weekend, run the numbers. Calculate your commute costs, estimate your taxes, be honest about decompression spending. Divide your net pay by your total hours committed to the job. Write that number on a sticky note and put it on your credit card. My real wage is $8.50. Next time you go to buy something, look at that number. Ask yourself, am I willing to trade hours of my life for this? The rich are buying time. The poor are selling it at a discount. Don't sell your time at a discount. Audit your life, cut the costs, and build a gap between your income and expenses, because that gap is where your freedom lives. This weekend, run the numbers. Calculate your real hourly wage. Then come back and comment just one thing, the number. If you want more videos that help you stop selling your life at a discount, subscribe. This channel isn't about making more money. It's about keeping more of your life.